Yes, hold on. You know, it's what's crazy is, right? They avoiding the shit they've been talking for. Like, here's the thing: how can you go 10 months, 10 months
from ray tracing
performance metrics, power? You even make statements that you know, Xbox don't have to worry about 30 frames no more. Like, all these outlandish shit. And they don't just say it in passing. Like, they drive it home to the point where it becomes truth, right?
Yep.
And now that we're seeing real world facts and information, and that is not the reality, they're not saying anything. It's as if, it's like, oh yeah, we're not
they
talking
never
about
said it.
Like,
it's like they never said it. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Like, yo, shit is crazy.
Just the same thing happened with the Xbox One X. Remember that 4K 60 uncompromised.
Uncompromised, and those were Microsoft actually said those words.
Porter Rock, Tim Dog, and the rest of them, all of them was out there hyping that shit. You ponies finna you finna get it now. That's it. This your last MPD. Yeah, that shit crazy.
Let me tweet this out that we're live.
Okay.
Oh man, it's funny, yo. But yeah, that podcast was funny.
Yeah.
Hey,
your boy Grieve, he got mad. He was in his feelings.
That's why I made it funny. That's what made
2013.
it funny. My man brought out 2013. I'm like, wait a minute.
2020.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. You're still talking about 2013, dog? Like, really? You really? Like, come on, dog. I know you ain't talking about.
I told you, man, 2013 scarred these dudes for life. They scarred.
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to get over 2013, man.
Yeah, that's I just found that real funny. And I'm like, wait, you're still bringing up 2013 and like 720.
It's 2020. You got a new console, another world's most powerful console, and you still want to bring up some shit from like seriously.
Like you hurt.
Exactly. It's like, dude, come on, get over it.
Oh snap! Let me see. We got the chat up here. All right, little by little, the chat's coming through.
All right. I'm gonna switch over to my computer because right now I'm on my phone. That way you can be better.
All right, no doubt. Oh shit! What's up, everybody? What's up, chat? Gav's like Puerto Rock Beach post up legs. Oh, we whooped them.
We made them leave.
Yeah, we just whooped off on the Xbox dudes on Zaire's channel. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to gang up on my boy J Dub. Like, nah. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, why? You ain't got ray tracing. Oh shit! So how's everybody doing? Appreciate you guys rocking out. Like always, please hit the like button and retweet this out on your favorite social media platform. And we're about to do our thing.
Yep. Can you hear me now? P Rock, am I good?
What's up? Yeah. Oh yeah. Sounding crystal clear. Right. It's probably just us two. Maybe the other guys will come in. I know we started a podcast late because everybody was doing some things and all that. Then I ended up had to do something here. But we'll see what's popping. We'll see how it goes. But I want to talk to you, and since it'll be serious tone. So my first topic I want to talk about, and I'm gonna say this, okay? I want to say this to everybody as we jump in. This is not a political channel. You know what I'm saying? By any means. I try to avoid that because, people think the console war is bad. Boy, if you haven't been paying attention to politics on Twitter, Jesus Christ. Like, and that's supposed to be serious, right? You would think, right? You would think politics would be taken a lot more serious because you're talking about how we govern our country and how it would impact actual people. How our kids go to school, our health, rights in court systems, how we deal with the police, and it's just everything, us going to war, everything, politics pretty much, govern our lives and can provide opportunities or even destroy opportunities depending on who's in control or whatever, right? But political fanboy, that shit is terrible. That's why I don't do it because, at least console warring is just plastic. You're just talking shit about consumer products. There ain't nobody getting hurt. But this political shit, yo, this shit's crazy, right? But anyway, so PlayStation released the wallpaper for Black Lives Matter movement, right? And based like that, right? And and it's just a wallpaper, right? Of course, everybody has their fundamental belief behind the movement, depending on it's really a fundamental, how would you say, process people perceive what Black Lives Matter is. I mean, it was a movement that started back in 2012, fundamentally just showing that there is a disparity on how black people are treated in different areas, primarily when it comes to our justice system, right? There's a lot of data that shows that black people tend to get convicted more often, go through harsher crimes, harsher punishments for the same crime. There's a lot of data that shows that there is some type of lopsidedness to this issue, right? And that's really what the movement is. Then, of course, it grew into something bigger. There's people taking advantage of it, right? Because you have people that are selfish, and they try to take a movement for their own personal gains, which in turn makes the movement whatever. But ultimately, so for example, in the game industry, in particular, Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo was all about it. But Sony released a free, I guess, wallpaper that you can download. Specifically for Black Lives Matter, and they made a Twitter post, and that shit turned into, as I already knew it was gonna turn. It turned into a toxic mess. You have people already making decisions saying that they're gonna go to Xbox, and then people tweeted out Xbox believes in the same thing. You have people saying keep politics out of my gaming consoles. It's just a whole type of mess. It's just a whole type of nastiness over something that really you could just ignore, right? So if it doesn't fit or quit.
So
what do you think about that in terms of just in general? If something as simple as a wallpaper could let people lash out, how do you perceive that as just how people look at each other, treat each other, or whatever?
Well, I think Puerto Rico, I think is very telling, right? There's a lot of people that especially here in America, mental health is a big thing in this country, and a lot of people go misdiagnosed or not diagnosed at all. And I'm a person that think that racism in all kind of forms is a form of mental disease. It's a mental health issue, specifically in this country, because it can cause you to do a lot of things that a sane person wouldn't normally do. And the power behind that, like, basically what you said is the I guess the issue behind that is that leads to other things. That leads to injustices in the legal system, the medical system, and everything, the health system, everything else that, the job system, everything that runs, this particular country. Everything, whether you're voting for, your politicians, all that stuff leads to the same exact thing. And Sony decided to go ahead and put a wallpaper out there, allow it to, be up there. It says Black Lives Matter. Some people loved it. Some people, hated it. And some people made their voices loud. Others just ignored it. But I think that it did what it was supposed to do. It gave people the option to choose what they wanted to do. And a lot of people say, well, my gaming, I don't want with politics and stuff like that. But then we turn around and buy these games such as Far Cry and Cyberpunk and Detroit Become Human and a lot of other games that's politically motivated and have messages and stuff in there. So it's all to the individual. Some people hide, the internet, social media. It's one big cesspool of people hiding behind keyboards, people hiding behind their computers and using different platforms to spout a bunch of hate or a bunch of racist stuff. And, we kind of joke about it, but Xbox Live is kind of one of those platforms where it was like the godfather in gaming of leading that particular movement, where people get to say whatever they want to say without any fear of any retribution or anything like that. In leading from that, Puerto Rock, is now Sony has this new system set in place that they're trying to do, where it actually records like 40 seconds of a conversation in case you report someone for spouting the hate or doing something malicious and stuff like that. So it kind of goes broader in the grand scheme of things when it comes to gaming. It's part of the reason why Nintendo has tiptoed with your whole online system, right? They really don't want to be full-fledged with the whole online thing because they don't want to be responsible for the hatred and for all the stuff that comes along with that. And so I think, when it all said and done, it's an opportunity. It's a choice. People can choose to download it. People can choose to ignore it. But, I've always said, put it out there. Let people be exposed for who they truly are. And it is what it is.
Yeah. I just think, it's just weird that over something that's not really a big issue, like a wallpaper, right? It's not really a big issue of what we're seeing, and people are willing to expose themselves on something that really it's really not necessary. I mean, you don't even have to comment. Like, you could just be like, I don't really give a shit about that, and just move on and just ignore it, right? But people go out of their way to start controversy. And like me, all right. So like with us, we talk shit about consoles, right? I mean, we go out our way. Optimus said it best. We're like Saturday Night Live, right? We go out our way to start the ruckus and talk the shit, right?
Exactly.
And some people consider that toxic, right? And I'm thinking, how the hell is this toxic when it's just a console? Like, if somebody, hold on, make sure is it me? Somebody says I have static. I don't think it's me. I think that's you with the static.
You think I got static?
Let me see. Is it me? Hold up. Let me.
He said, P Rock, your mic has a lot of static. You sound good to me, man.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me mute.
Yeah. Hey everybody. Is it? How's P Rock mic? How's my mic? I need more than just one person to tell us how it is. If we're fine, just put one in the chat. If we're fine,
it might be me because I'm muted. Hold on. Let me back out and back in real quick. Could be me.
Yeah, they say it's gone now. Okay, he jumped out.
All right.
Yeah, you're good, P Rock.
I'm good now.
Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we good.
All right. So like people go what you call it, that it's they go out of their way, and I don't understand. Oh, it's P Rock. Damn, what the fuck is going on? So it is me.
Well, then they turn around and say it's good.
What to do? Hello?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you good.
Okay. But anyway, so it's just like I said, still static. What the fuck? I hear it. No, I ain't gonna lie. I hear it in my ear now too. Like,
you do?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Oh man.
Like, Jesus.
Big Stout was good, bro. Yeah, he said it's not good, but it's okay.
Okay. All right. Is it killing the podcast? All right, we'll keep it moving because I don't want it.
Yeah. He said it's not that bad. Let's move on.
Okay. But anyway, so just overall, right? Like we talk shit about consoles, right? And you swear listening to these Xbox, you would think that we're the worst people in the world, like if we're Nazis or some shit, right?
I know,
because we're talking about making fun of plastic, right?
Plastic.
Like, it's toxic. And never mind, they ignore the crazy shit other people do, like the racism and like we just went through it in the podcast, right?
Yep.
Like, remember, like saying that Xbox is like black people, and like, what the fuck? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, this is just crazy shit, right?
Yep.
But when you have something like this that deals with real people, real issues, right? And I'm pretty sure, just like you, right? You're nervous that your kids be out on the street and have to run into a police over something as simple as a stop sign.
Yes.
Something simple. Even if you did accidentally run over the stop sign, it's a fucking traffic violation. Just write the ticket, and that's it. Like, it doesn't need to go any more than that.
Any further than that. Yeah, that's correct.
Hey, you ran past the stop sign. Let me see your license. Here you go. Ticket. Have a nice day. Keep it moving. Not get out the car. Are you doing cocaine? And what the fuck is all this? Like,
Exactly.
But these people go out of their way to do that, and I don't understand. Like, how can you consider yourself a good person, or like, and I think it's the anonymity of the internet, right? Because most
That's
of these
what it
people
is.
don't show their face, right? They don't show their face, right? Because once you show your face, and other people in your circle and your friends and your neighborhood see you, they're gonna be like, "Yo, what the hell is wrong with you, bro?" Like,
you can get exposed.
Yeah, and that's what it is, right? And here's my thing: if you only do this because you can hide in the internet, then obviously you know it's wrong. So then why do it? You know it's wrong. You know, and you're not 14. Most of these people aren't even 14 years old. These people, they're grown adults. They're in their 30s and 40s. And if you're at this age and you still doing the wrong thing, knowing that it's wrong, is like, come on, man. Like, this is crazy, man. Like,
well, put it like this, P-Rock. How many times have we seen on the internet, videos of people take that online shit, right? Yeah. They take that bravado and their badass online out into the street with that same political shit, and they fucking get mollywopped and end up on World Star hip hop or something like that, or somewhere being made fun of because they got hit in the nose and they sprawled all out on the ground because they thought they were a tough guy and they ran their mouths. Yeah. It's the same like that on the internet. Everyone's a tough guy until you get punched in the eye.
Yeah, that's true.
Same thing. Same thing.
That's true, man. I just thought like this is crazy, man. Like, you even got dudes saying, "Yep, I'm not buying a PlayStation because of this." I'm like, I mean, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. Trust me. In fact, most of those dudes, they're gonna buy a PlayStation anyway.
Yeah.
They're just
I'm gonna be honest. I hope they don't buy a PlayStation. That gives more opportunity for other people to finally get those parts.
That's true. Yeah,
I'm quick to tell somebody, yeah, man, you don't need a PlayStation. To cancel your order so somebody else can get it.
That's true, man. I mean,
go get Xbox.
It's just unfortunate, man. It's just weird that I mean, something that could easily be avoided, but they go out of their way to talk that trash and stuff like that, which blows my mind on this situation. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, right?
Yeah, and in this day and age, we're living in a different time, man, where people are emboldened and feel like that they don't have to hide their racist views or their horrible human views. They feel like they don't have to hide it anymore, and so that comes out. And then so when that comes out and they get, I guess they call it cancel culture. They get canceled or they get outed and they get fired from their job, or they were a Karen or a Ken or whatever. Then they want to cry, "Oh my God, I'm not really a bad person," and stuff like that. Again, they get exposed. Same thing with gaming. Yeah. I know you remember this Brazilian Xbox guy and his group or whatever. I think it was Xbox Milgrau, yeah. And guys, the real toxic guys, right? The ones that none of the Xbox guys in the Xbox community, they never called these guys out. These guys said a bunch of horrible racist and just horrible stuff for years. Yeah. And Microsoft partnered with them for years. And finally, Microsoft decided to distance themselves only after years. Did they decide to? And then that kind of is the whole thing, right? You and I get on Twitter and we talk crap about, different stuff, different plastic stuff, inanimate objects, right? And people want to say, "Oh, you're toxic. You don't bring nothing valuable to the community, and you're supposed to bring people together." But these are the guys that they stay silent about, right? You and I have never said any horrible thing like that to anybody or any racist stuff. We've never did any of that. But these guys stay silent.
We didn't celebrate Stan Lee's death.
Exactly.
And shit like that. Yeah.
But you know what? Silence, a lot of people say, and it's true in a lot of cases, silence is more loud than anything. Yeah. And if you let a guy, now when we've called out plenty of guys, right, on the PlayStation side as well, it goes on in both, in both sides and all sides. There's always weirdos on all sides. But I have noticed that a lot of people in the Xbox community are the ones that claim and throw out the word toxic. Mm-hmm. But when they actually run into toxic, they become silent. They act like they don't see. They put their Bird Box blindfolds on, and it is what it is. And this is why we poke fun at these guys and we laugh and stuff like that when they so-called trying to boycott a company or boycott something, because a lot of them are just frauds. Yeah. Because when it's time to actually speak up, they're silent.
True. Shout out to the Ruham. Thank you for the super chat. My man said, let me put it up here. Oh boy, I missed it. Hold up.
The Ruham.
Yeah, Ruham. He said, "What up, P Rock and Jay? Just showing support, of course.
Appreciate that, brother.
And thank you so much for the chat, for rocking out with us. Don't forget to hit the like button. So I'll say this, right? Of course, both sides have toxicity. But both sides, both sides do. There are people who do the most, right? On both sides of the fence,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Well, I say this to anybody, and I'll say this officially to anybody. If you're the type that wants to call out toxicity, right? Do not call out the other side, because no one's gonna listen to you, right? I see it firsthand. You got Xbox dudes, tagging you, me, and maybe another person or so, but primarily me and you and I, saying that we're toxic, or especially when they were coming at OptimusCode, right? OptimusCode talks about toxic Xbox fanboys, and they go at, they reply to Optimus saying, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, because the only toxicity I see is from J-Dub and Porter Rock, and they at me, right?" So what I do, I just reply to that person, or anybody who does that. I reply with receipts. I show them screenshots of that toxicity that happens in Xbox. I even show the videos that's been directed at us. Right? Of people talking shit, using derogatory terms, saying "fuck you" if I ever see you on the street, threats, all that shit. I show it to them, and once I show it to them, they disappear. They don't make another tweet again, which shows they're full of shit, right? Because after I showed them proof, right, and a video, not just pictures, but a video with them calling our names, talking shit live on YouTube. And they don't say nothing, right? So, I say that with this. If anybody wants to do their part to clean up toxicity, right? To clean up, then clean up your own house. Don't go to another person's house and say their house is dirty when your house is trash. So if you're an Xbox dude, don't go at the PlayStation community and talk about how toxic they are. Check your own community, because I know you see it. And you, like you said, they ain't saying nothing. And I say the same thing to the PlayStation dudes. Don't go on the Xbox side and try to clean up their house. There's toxicity within our own house too, right? Like, I'll give you one example. Like Omegazio, right?
He got blocked. Got blocked.
I blocked him. Like, you don't see him.
Listen, you're not
by
the only
a lot
one.
of us.
All the ponies pretty much blocked him and called him retarded. Yeah.
So like Omegazio, he's a big PlayStation supporter. He used to rock with us in the chat. He was on Twitter. We all used to mess with him, right? We all got
disowned. He got disowned because that's not how we rock. That's not. We don't do threats and tag executives and all
threats.
Kinds of, we don't do that. That's not what we do.
For people to understand, when PlayStation put Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, he went off. Right now, of course, we're gonna talk trash. We're gonna keep it with a joke and stuff like that, right? Console war stuff, but. He went with dark humor of talking about, gun violence, going up to Sony headquarters. He even tagged the execs. I personally talked to Omegazio, meaning through Twitter and DM. I'm like, yo, you need to chill. Especially what's going on in this country. That's not a funny joke. Find another way to joke about this, but don't do it, right? He's like, nah, I'm good, Porter Rock. And he kept doing it, and I'm like, listen, all right, cool. I'm just blocking you. I can't deal. I'm not cool with that. Especially now in the climate of this country. That's not a good humorous joke. That is not a good console warring trolling joke. It's just not good. And a lot of us
you gotta distance yourself, and I do. I distance myself from people like that. Now it's one thing if you're joking about Xbox or PlayStation, keep it like that, right? Keep it towards the box, the games, and stuff that don't really matter. The merchandise, right? Don't go attacking actual people as far as like violence and all kind of stuff. Me when I troll, right, I may post a video of somebody dancing and say, hey, this is such and such. The normal everyday thing that we've been doing for years and years. Again, we keep it funny. We keep it entertaining, but it's never attacking an executive or doing some racist stuff or trying to bomb somebody or some crazy weirdo shit like that.
Right. So, pretty much.
But to make a point, Porter Rock, there are people that try to associate what we do with the trolling and poking fun of Xbox or PlayStation on an equivalency to us doing death threats or some crazy stuff, right? Which is crazy. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I don't listen to them, right? And receipts is a beautiful thing, right? Because because they all say, I never see it. So then I show it to them. I'm like, here you go. Yep. Right? And then they go, well, two cons don't make a right. I'm like, bro, I make fun of a console. I'm showing you a picture of a dude made fun of somebody dying. Yeah. That is not the same. That is not the same.
But
me
9
saying,
times out of 10, I can tell you this without a doubt. 9 times out of 10, the people that say that, those people, when you go and look at their profile, they follow nothing but Xbox guys. They have the M's.
And how do they not see it? That's the thing. Why I understand. Like, and I say that also. Like, how can you not see some of the shit in your own community, but you know everything I do, and you don't even follow me? How is that possible? You don't see nothing on your side of the fence, right? But you see everything I do, and you don't even follow me. Like, come on, man. Like,
well, you know the worst part, Puerto Rock, with a lot of these guys that are like that. These guys actually follow me. These guys that call me toxic, right? These guys that can't stand my guts, they actually follow me.
They don't follow me.
Every time I look at their profile and I'm like, well, if I'm so toxic, why the fuck you follow me? And I just reply back, thanks for the follow, by the way.
All right. Shout out to True Virgil. He says, how can I get in the podcast? I'm busy. I can't do podcasts. So I want to talk, but can't find a time. Hey, do you think PewDiePie is racist? I will say this with PewDiePie. I don't know if he's racist now. I don't know the dude, right? But I will say this. I don't think he minds at the conversation happening because it brings views to his channel.
Yeah.
So at a minimum, I don't think he minds that the conversation's happening.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I'll say that definitely. Because I think he did that like 2 or 3 times. So it's not even like he did it once. I think he doesn't care if the conversation is happening, because it drives views to his channel or whatever. And, you know, that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad because I ain't going to do views on that metric. Like, nah.
Exactly.
Yo, my man Showan, what's going on, brother? He goes, I must not count as an Xbox dude. Man, you a bot. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Super bot. What's good? What's good,
you know what I'm saying? You super thug. Nah, what's up, brother? You know what I'm saying? But that's just how it is. And that's the best advice I could give everybody. It's simple. If you guys, if gamers you want to call out toxicity, you will get more merit staying within your own community, right? Because I'm going to tell you, the first mention and you say, this is toxic or these people are toxic, the first thing people are going to look at is your timeline, right? Yep. So let's say if you be like, oh, these PlayStation fanboys is toxic, whatever. The first thing we're going to do is look at your timeline. And if I see Tim Dog, Dealer, Xbox, I'm going to be like, I ain't listening to your ass.
Yep.
You're just another Xbox dude talking shit.
Credibility gone.
Yeah. But if you're a PlayStation dude, PlayStation Nation, I'll be like, okay, I get it. You want your community to look better. You don't really care about anybody else's. You only care about what you do in your community, you know? So if you want to clean up toxicity, stay within your community. If you're an Xbox dude, clean Xbox. Because yes, there's a lot of shit over there to clean up, right? Not like they're gonna listen to you because they ain't gonna care. But at least that's your home. That's what you do, right? If you're a PlayStation dude, clean up your PlayStation community. If you're a Nintendo, stay within your community that you actually care about. Don't go criticizing on another community, especially if you don't even have the console. You got some of these dudes that complain about a community that they don't even play to begin with. Like, that's even weirder. Like, why do you even care? You don't own the console and you don't play the games there. That's just crazy, man. That's just wild.
And here's the wonderful thing about social media, P-Rock, especially Twitter, is there's a mute button and there's a block button.
Yeah, that's how it is.
So if somebody is saying something that, if all this guy Puerto Rock talk about is PlayStation and his exclusives and this, let me mute this guy. Let me block this guy because I don't want to see that on my time. That's all you got to do, right?
Yeah.
But no, I don't want to block. I don't want to block him. I'm gonna type this big long message saying how toxic he is and how despicable it is to that all he does is talk about Xbox.
They write 10 paragraphs. Like that's gonna change anything. Like, what? Like dog. You could have just hit the block button and you would have been good.
I'm a neutral. I own both. I own all consoles. But then when you look at their timeline, it's nothing but fucking Xbox.
I just be like, I own both consoles. I'll be like, yeah, word, you love everything, and I just be like, oh, okay. What's your PSN?
Yep.
And that's it. That conversation's over.
2 trophy score, yeah.
Like, don't give me this bullshit. Like, what's your PSN then? Can I get your PSN? Like, come on.
What had happened was
I had 2 accounts. And Sony blocked them, and I lost all my games. So they gave me Infamous for free. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Like, y'all need to stop this bullshit. You know?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, right, man. The fake neutrals is worse than just the diehard Xbox. Listen, I love my Xbox brothers, man. I love you guys. I love the back and forth we go with on Twitter every day, all day. I love that, man. That's, you guys give me that energy. You know, even showing, right? He follows me. We go back and forth on different stuff. Yeah. But the fake neutral, oh, well, why are you always talking about Xbox? Just play your games and just enjoy and just love games. Sit your ass down. Ain't nobody trying to get that shit.
Well, honestly, maybe the chat can help me out. I don't understand the logic of, man, why you trying to ruin other people's enjoyment? And I be sitting and thinking, damn, do I ruin other people's enjoyment? Like, when I write a tweet, is there somebody that reads my tweet and then they look at their console like, man, fuck this console because of what Porter Rock wrote? Like, do people really not enjoy gaming after they read my tweet? Like, is my words that powerful?
Okay, P-Rock, this is the time I'm going to have to own up, right? I'm going to have to own up to my own mess. I'm not going to be a fraud. Okay. I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
Okay.
I crush dudes' dreams. I'm a dream crusher. A dude would post, you know, not well, I'm not going to, well, yeah, maybe I do it on purpose, but again, I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to be honest here. So, you know, y'all know how Kratos do. But I will see a tweet of, you know, Porter Rock or, Post Up or Tim Dog or something like that. And they'll tweet out some pro Xbox news, and I'll be there. I'll be waiting for them to hit that reply. But I'll hit that reply button saying, "Where that ray tracing there, player?" I'm right there with a smart remark.
Oh shit!
You know, Microsoft just bought this studio. Well, you still ain't gonna win any MPDs. That's that's the circles that we are in, and most people don't know the guys that we go back and forth with on Twitter. We're all good friends. Yeah, we all podcast together. We're all in the DMs together. That's something you guys don't see, right? We do this. They do it to us, and we do it to them. It's just the fact that PlayStation won this generation, that gives us more of an upper hand, and you know, because PlayStation have the games and stuff, like y'all know how it works, right? Yeah. If you know, last generation when Sony would get his head kicked in, you know, I'm pretty sure it was the other way around. It is what it is, man. It's friendly competition, and it keeps conversation going. It keeps Twitter lit. Because I can tell you, it probably would be, Twitter would probably be boring if you and I decided to just retire, right? You're gonna have
they love us, man. They need us. They need us. We're like the bad guys in wrestling. You gotta have us. You gotta have the bad guys in wrestling. Are you seriously? You know, it's like. You know, you're gonna have a wrestling with 2 good guys in the ring. It don't
you gotta
work.
You gotta have the NWO. Wrestling didn't pop into the NWO days, right? You had the NWO, that's when wrestling got good. You know
what I'm saying? You gotta have the New World Order and stuff like that. You know?
Exactly.
Exactly. Oh shit! You know what I'm saying? And then and I'll be honest. When I first went to Twitter, I tried to be serious, and that shit didn't work, man. Like. That shit don't work, man. I tried. I'm like, yo, like one, you got dudes that don't know how to read. Yeah. So that's that in of itself is frustrating. When you got dudes that don't know how to read, like you type something and they are completely off, and you're like, how the hell did you get that? Like how did you get a high school diploma? So I'm like, okay. And then the dudes that kind of know how to read, they want to argue a totally different point that you didn't make in the first place, and you're like, oh my god. And then it's just like. Yeah, you know, come on, like, you know what? Screw this shit. I'm trolling.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing, man. Look. There was a niche, right? There was a niche that I saw in the community, and it wasn't fulfilled, and I decided to fill that void and do with the tongue in cheek, you know, back and forth banter and the jokes and stuff like that, and. People seem to like it, and I've been doing it ever since. It's you know, it's all good. It's all good.
True Virgil, 499. He said, I stopped supporting Z because of post up. He said he should admit he wants friends on the internet. He's not a gamer. No gamer would not like PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. Yo, shout out to True Virtual. Oh man, I'm gonna screenshot that shit. I'm gonna send that shit to post up.
Hey, I had to take a picture of that. That's
going
straight to me.
Oh, I'm gonna send that shit to True Virtuals. Oh, you gangster, bro. Oh, I'm gonna catch him. My man said he just wants friends on the internet. This dude is crazy. Oh shit, it's tough, yo. Oh, I'm just saying. Yeah, let me talk about the next thing. I don't know how this became a big deal, but PS5 Smart Fan. Like, yo.
It sounds like we ran out of topics, bro.
We ran out of topics.
And we're talking about dry these motherfucking streets, man. We're talking about fans, rollers, and motherfucking ketchup packets, trying to squeeze them into a big bottle to make it for free. Like, what are we talking about here, bro?
We're talking about fan technology. That's how bad it's gotten, bro. Man. Yo, my man O'Day, how you been, my brother?
Been good, man. How you been, bro?
Oh shit, chilling. What you been up to, man?
Man, just getting a little busy at the house, but everything cool.
That's good, man. God bless.
It's better than talking about screws.
Hey, yo,
shit, we talking about fans now.
Yo, now we talking about fans. Like, holy shit, bro. Like, yo, like,
you know what I mean?
Like, what else are we gonna talk about next? Like, PlayStation can't do nothing. Can't even update a fan. Like, yo, like, oh shit, my man OptimusCode. He's up in there. Yeah, I gave him the power to just jump in, just jump right in. Get up in here.
What's going on?
What's going on, my brother?
What's up, my boy? What's up, man?
My brother? I see people. Hey. I see people going at you for your comments, man, Optimus.
They don't understand. Look here, Rock. I want to say something real quick, man.
Okay, go ahead.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
You said y'all like the bad guys in wrestling. There's only one problem wrong with that analogy, player.
What's the analogy?
In wrestling, sometimes the bad guys lose.
Okay, that's
Kratos told me Kratos never loses.
Never. Even when I lose, I win.
Yes, he's like Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Even when I lose, I win.
Exactly.
You guys did a laugh though.
Yeah.
Remember that wrestling game back in the days with Ted DiBiase and Andre the Giant? That motherfucker was hard, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one. Them two were hard, man. Yeah, at the arcade. Yeah. Them motherfuckers were hard.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Optimus, man, I heard, after a couple of tweets today, Xbox guys are calling you toxic.
Yeah, man.
Like on my mama, like for real. On my mama's mama, like for real. Like,
we gotta get him out of here.
These consoles come out in less than a fucking month. Man. Shut the fuck up. Damn.
All day had enough.
Come out already, man.
He's like, fuck. He's like, shut your damn screws. Shut your fans.
You know what? It's the company's fault for doing this shit so late.
Okay. True.
You know what I'm saying? They should have did this shit way earlier. We'd have been talking about a little bit more games now instead of fucking nuts and crannies and wrench and Allen wrenches.
No. Allen wrenches. All day, what it really is. I'm going to tell you what it really is.
Butterfly scissors and shit. Like,
listen, you got one fan base talking about the exclusives. They're talking about ray tracing and Spider-Man and Godfall and all this stuff, right? They're talking about the DualSense controller. They're talking about all of these next-gen features and UIs with the 4K HDR and all this.
It's light out here right now.
Yeah.
Listen, it's one side is eating good with a lot of information. The other side ain't. They
sit at a table with no fork. You know
exactly. They ain't got no food on
they ain't got no food.
They're trying to eat. They're trying to eat
nuts in the middle of the table. You know what I mean?
They're trying to eat soup with a fork. Like, what you doing here? Like, what you doing here? Like, no, but here's the truth, right? If you notice, they're not like the conversation is not really about the games, because when you look at the outcome of what's happening, the performance outcome of the better version of multiplats is not really up to par of what they've been hyping for 10 months.
I know that dirt.
That's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason why the conversation still hasn't been really all about the games yet. Because it's not much, at least for them, it's not much to talk about on what they really want to talk about. What they really want to talk about is Xbox doing 4K 60 and PlayStation doing 1800p 30. That's what they were hoping would happen. Right. And Optimus, please preach. You try to warn them.
I tried to tell him, bro.
He said it.
I got DMs.
Optimus said,
I'm talking to Xbox influencers, and I'm like, look, man, you need to be careful because it's not going to turn out like you think, especially in the beginning. And if you keep making content like this, all you doing is setting the fan base up, and they're going to come blaming you.
Yep.
But instead of the influencers being like, okay, my bad, I shouldn't have said that, or I spoke out of turn on that. What they do instead is be like, well, the developers are lazy, and that pisses me off.
That's a lot of shit because, like you said yourself, right? Only the developers know what a console can do with the kids, the SD development, all that.
Right.
These dudes don't know. Yeah. Like these influencers don't know shit. They didn't work on it. So how do you know the expectation you are saying is actually deliverable without actually touching the kid? Right?
And they not even saying like this is possible or this could be. They saying for sure 100% this is what's gonna happen. Yeah. And then when it don't, instead of pointing a finger at themselves, they start blaming everybody but themselves.
Yeah.
So the developer. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The problem is we've seen this, and I said this before. We've seen this scenario play out. We've seen this scenario play out so much. We saw it back in 2017 when the Xbox One X launched. Right, PUBG came out. 11 frames a second, right? Super Lucky's Tale. We saw this. No MPD1. Nothing changed. The scenario didn't change. So the guys are hoping now that things are going to change, but they're going about it the old way. They are still trying to win a 2013 war. Time has moved on. People have moved on from 2013, right? You got guys talking about, well, back in 2013 when we had the games and y'all didn't have no.
That just happened.
That was 7 years ago. That's been gone.
That shit just happened. That shit just happened on Z's channel.
It literally
they brought up 2013 1080p versus 900p. I'm like, oh my god, you guys are still talking about that. Like, Jesus Christ, let it go, man.
Yeah.
It's just like it only happened for 4 years. That's it. Relax. I miss baseball. Not me and J Dub because our teams is 1 and done. Yo, Tampa Bay, man, fuck that team. Fuck. Anyway, it says Portal. What about the rumor about Steam games being playable on the Xbox? Apparently, a meeting happened between Gabe and Phil. Sony games are on Steam. All right, so let me explain this thing again. People don't understand what Steam is. Steam is simply a store that Valve created where they can allow games to be sold through their own platform, which is Steam. Yep. Steam games are not going to be on Xbox because technically Steam is not a game. It's a store. Yep. The individual games in Steam can be on Xbox by the merit of the developer simply putting it on Xbox.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Why would you have? They're basically in competition.
Yeah, that's like Best Buy putting their store in Costco.
Exactly.
Like, that doesn't make sense. Best Buy is his own store. Steam is his own store. Valve is not going to put Steam on Xbox and have Microsoft make money off them. They're their own store. They make money off developer. Any game that's on Steam, unless Steam got some type of exclusive deal or whatever, any game on Steam could be on Xbox. It just takes the developer to make it. Important, right? Am I correct, Optimus?
100%, player.
Yeah, that's it.
100%. Yeah, Steam is just a storefront. It's just like a fancy website that they have an app for. The games are built to run on the PC.
Yes.
And PC games will not run on PlayStation unless they have been built specifically for PlayStation. And same with Xbox. PC games will not run on Xbox unless they've been ported to the Xbox. So just having Steam on your Xbox is the same as having Spotify or not even Spotify is like a web browser.
Yeah.
You can go shop, but you can't really use it on your Xbox. You can just window shop. That's it.
And you still got to take into account there is another console out there, which is the X Series S, right? And that in itself won't, poses a whole different issue in itself.
What's interesting recently, Phil Spencer made a comment and admitted that having the Xbox Series S does result in more work for the developers. Yeah. But they did it to try to get more console sales. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of trying to expand the market, right? But he's admitting that, yes, the developers do have to work a little bit more. Which I think OptimusCode, you said it. A lot more. But you talked about that.
So all the automatic scaling stuff that the Xbox guys were touting for months, so that was wrong, right?
Yeah, and I think Optimus talked about it.
Automatic. Yeah.
But they said, you know, this was their saying, these are their words, that games on PC scale up and down all the time. It'll do the same thing. They'll just make the high end version just scale it down for the smaller. That this is what they've been touting for months until the rude awakening happened, right? And then they saw what was going on with the X Series X and the X Series S, and how, you know, again, it could potentially hold back the X Series X. And then we got what? Halo. That was another eye opener. Oh shit. Then they say, well, you know, just like the X Series X version.
Yeah. Well, hold on a second, J-Dub, because scaling does work, and it's
for certain things, right? For certain things, right?
On PC, yeah, there's only so many options you can turn on and off, but you can't. Once you build the game has to be built around a certain parameter, right, encompassing all the platforms that it's going to be on.
Right.
You can make a game specific for the high end, and then say, okay, you know, for example, and I'm gonna use this for example. If you build a game with SSD in mind, saying you have to have this amount of
okay, well now you at design level now.
Yeah, there you go. And there you go. And so, exactly. And Mark Cerny he basically, those are his words. He said that developers will be able to design games around something. So therefore, some games are not going to be compatible with the whole stuff without totally changing or basically rebuilding the game, because you got to rebuild the whole foundation.
Well, redesign, So design and build, those are two different things. People use them interchangeably, but they not. Design happens way before your game is ever built. Yes. And once you have your design set, then you do build to the highest form, and then you scale it down. That stuff is true. The problem with Xbox is that go ahead. Bro, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say Epic Games. I forgot the guy. Sweeney. Yeah, he basically said that he gave the whole demo when they played the Unreal Engine 5 demo on the PlayStation 5. They talked about a lot of the stuff that was going to encompass. The guys they don't want to hear the logic behind what developers are talking about, right? All they want to hear is those.
Unless they agreeing with them, they do.
Yeah, other than they want to hear the magic words. This can be done on this platform better than on that point. That's their magic words of what they want.
So look here. Now, that's another thing that pissed me off, J-Dub. Yeah. You have developers that got 10, 12 years on the mic, done built 3-4 AAA games across 3-4 platforms, and they telling you, hey, this little motherfucker right here, this is gonna be a problem.
Yep.
So they don't want to hear that. No. So they gonna find a fucking indie developer that has never built a AAA game ever in his life, and this motherfucker gonna try to challenge some of the best in the business, talking about, oh my god.
And they put him on the same.
They gonna give him more credibility, and he has never fucking done it, except for he said something that made Xbox look good, so I'm gonna roll with him.
Confirmation bias.
Listen, they attacked Tim Sweeney.
I told you, they do that a lot.
They attacked Tim Sweeney. They attacked. I mean, they keep attacking whoever won't say Xbox is the greatest and the most powerful, and it's gonna make PlayStation 5 look so weak. They will attack.
Man, please.
You know, and trust me, Code, and you're trailing on thin ice with a couple of your tweets.
Oh yeah, man. It's a matter of time you're gonna be on the. You can't come home. You can't come home. You can't come home. They better not catch you.
On Xbox when these bastards was born. They can't tell, but I put them off Xbox.
Shout out to True Virgil. Wait, hold on.
What'd you say?
Let me get some super chat. He said, True Virgil, thank you for the super chat. He said, all day respect, Porter Rock respect, J-Dub no respect. You are on a podcast that has no gamer but Z. It's sad. He really doesn't like that podcast. Oh shit! And my man Showan, he said, "Forget power. We on that $7.5 billion wave now." He's like, we flossing money now. Ain't about nothing else. We flossing that money. Oh shit! Thank you for the super chat. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking on that, Puerto Rock, just to bring up, I put a poll out on Twitter. Because for the last 2-3 weeks,
you didn't delete it, did you?
Shots fired.
I only delete the tweets.
Hey, wait, before you move on, Optimus, you see what I'm talking about, though, right? You see the slick shit he does. I want he's smooth. The dude is a smooth cat. He knows what he's doing.
He told me he don't lose, man. I was cracking up.
Even when I lose, I win.
Yeah.
So on one of these polls that that I put out there, and I said which one, it was something like which one is better, which one one is better, and I basically put Square Enix, and then I put basically
Square Enix, Bethesda,
Square Enix and Bethesda, and then when I put
Final Fantasy, you said Final Fantasy,
Fallout versus Final Fantasy. So basically, the two. I wanted to see the responses I got from the two different polls, and it seems like say what you want, but the Xbox community, they rally together when it comes to these polls. They show up in droves, right? when it comes time to buy some games, they scatter. That's why Game Pass exists. We know that. But to prove a point, right? Yeah. So I did the whole Final Fantasy versus Fallout, because I want to see all these guys say, "Oh, we got Fallout now. This it. We bought Bethesda. That's the end of the game. That's it. That's the debt to PlayStation is over, right?" And then I'm thinking back, like, okay, I've bought a lot of Bethesda games. I bought the Fallout, in the Dooms and all of this stuff. But
Skyrim, I know you had to get Skyrim.
Yeah, of course. So come on, I got Skyrim in VR. Come on PlayStation.
Oh, of course.
It's been out on PC forever. So plus, I got on Switch. I mean, everybody got Skyrim on 50 different platforms. The damn thing is in forever, right? It's kind of like Call of Duty. GTA, Grand Theft Auto 5, right about now. It's just been out for so long. But it kind of proved the point I want to see. Were people really interested in the games, or were they just interested in the fact that Microsoft bought them? Because we know a lot of people have tweeted out stuff like Bethesda is shitty developer and the games are shit and crappy and stuff like that. And all of a sudden Microsoft purchased them, and all of a sudden it's the best thing ever. And it's like, okay, guys, Microsoft went out and spent $7.5 billion. I know the games are going to be in Game Pass. Now, will you actually go out and support this company in these games? Because the Xbox fan base has a track record of not supporting their games.
Yeah, that's true. I would say this. I don't get into the conversation, right? Because I saw some of these dudes' gamer tags, and some of them didn't even play Fallout or those. Like, if you look at my PSN, I play Fallout. I played the shit out of Fallout. I think the year Fallout came out, it was like my second most played game, right?
Yes.
I beat Fallout 3. I beat out Fallout New Vegas with all the DLC. I beat Fallout 4 with all the DLC. I played the Elder Scrolls Online. I put in like maybe 200 hours in that game. I beat Skyrim with all the DLC. I beat Oblivion with all the DLC, right? I love those games, right? A lot of these dudes capping for these games, you look at it, they hardly played them. And I'm I'm thinking, like, it would be the equivalent of me of let's say Sony bought Codemasters, right? And now Dirt franchise becomes exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah.
You're not going to see me hype that, right? Because I don't like racing games. So I'm like, yeah, cool, Sony bought it, but that doesn't really do nothing for me because I don't like racing games. So I'm not going to be happy about something. Like, I understand it, good for more racing fans that like racing, cool. But I'm personally not going to hype it because I don't play those games. But you got dudes that don't play these games and they hype them.
No. I can't ride with y'all on this one.
Ooh.
So they not hyping them because they excited for it. They hyping it because it is finally something in their favor. If they like it or not, it is a talking point that they can use specifically for people like you two.
Oh, okay.
And so
that I can understand.
They're not hyping it for personal pleasure in gaming. They hyping it for Twitter credibility and ammunition.
I get that, but I would say that, like, for example, GT Sport, right? GT Sport right now is probably like the #1 online competitive racing in the world, right?
Yep.
I don't hype it. I don't hype it because I don't play it. I don't really care to. It's not fun trolling, especially if it's not something I would play personally. It's just not fun.
Bro, Rock, you not listening. Yeah. You and Kratos never lose. But when you eat steak all the time, of course it's not fun trolling. But when you've been eating rocks and pebbles and you get a cracker,
you got Eddie Murphy. Right? They lock you in a closet for 30 days. You got the best tasting saltine cracker. Like, the best cracker. That sounds like a full course meal.
Man, I don't blame nobody on the Xbox side that hype up Bethesda. Okay.
They're good games. Like, you know, it's just sad that it takes Game Pass and for Microsoft to purchase them for you to play those games. That's just sad. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I like them. I like the game. So now I'm going to play them on PC. And that pisses people off. They're like, you going to get an Xbox? I'm like, nah, I'm going to play on PC. Oh, fuck you, Puerto Rock. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck is this?
That's what you made it for.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, like, Phil, like, they all, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you. Hey, Optimus, when you get the chance, do another test, right? Because they all preach. That's what Microsoft wants you to do. Like, you know, Phil is okay with you playing on PC or on phone, right? But the moment you hype it, they on your ass. Like, the moment you actually choose, like, you know what? I'm not going to buy an Xbox. I'm going to play on PC because I can play the games. They will be on you, dog. They will be on you. It's all good in theory until you actually choose, until you actually make that choice.
Exactly.
Then they're gonna be like, "Oh, good luck spending $3,000 getting the same performance on the Xbox Series X." I'm like, "What?" Yo, Optimus, they done this to me. I tell no lies.
I definitely believe you.
The best part about jokes that is grounded in truth. That's what makes it funny.
Exactly.
It's grounded in truth. Our jokes is grounded in truth. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, man. So Optimus, I want to ask you something. So, from the moment you first stepped on to now today, what has woken up your eyes? What did you not see before that you see now clearly? Tell me all the things. That when you first stepped on the scene, you were bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. You were the new guy on Twitter. You were ready to take on the world. You were ready to change the world. What happened?
So, like I said, my early experience on Twitter, it was all hanging out with developers and engineers. I hadn't even really discovered gaming Twitter yet. And a lot of my follower base is from engineers and stuff, right? Okay. So that's the way it was. But then once I started interacting with gaming Twitter, I saw a lot of wrong information and a lot of technical information that just wasn't right. And so I'm like, okay, well, man, let me help, my brothers and sisters out. I got some knowledge in this area, so let me help clear up some of these misconceptions.
That's all right. You were just going to drop some knowledge, some facts.
Yeah, man, that's all I wanted to do. Because I don't care what nobody say. I firmly believe that the educated gaming community is more powerful than this trash we got now. And this is why PC gamers are more effective than console gamers, because PC gamers understand their value and they understand the ramifications of certain moves. And they act together in unison because they are an educated consumer base. Console gamers are not. So I'm like, okay, well, let's add some basic knowledge. And Rock, bro, you seen it. Motherfuckers started arguing with me, telling me I'm wrong about this and that, all because it didn't make Xbox look good. And I'm like, wait a minute, no matter who this is, like, look. And you hit me up, Rock, I'll never forget. I got the receipts. You hit me up, you was like, hey, bro, I see you trying to teach, but people on Twitter, they not here for education. And you told me very clearly, all they want to do is blindly defend Xbox. No matter what you say, they're not listening to you. They're only looking at if this makes Xbox look good or not. And I'm like, nah, man, people want this information, because I remember when I didn't understand
I remember when you said it, man, people want this truth. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, because there was a time when I didn't understand it, and I told you, I'm like, man, you just got to be patient. And you was like, okay. Oh my God, I hate having to admit this. And you was like, okay.
All right.
And I kept on.
Let me know how that works out.
Oh, it's over with now.
It's done.
Over
now you got in your block game. You're like, you know what? I'm blocking you. I'm not even going to talk to you no more.
If I answer a tech question and somebody comes back with, well, if this was PlayStation, you wouldn't have said that. Like any of that category of stuff.
Block.
Like my answer was tailored specifically to hurt Xbox. It's an instant block, and I don't care who it is. People that I've been cool with for months. Instant block. I'm not dealing with this shit. You should know by now that that's not how I get down. Man. And that is your own feelings that's interpreting this way.
Yeah, I mean, they just can't. I think we all agree. We can see, like, if there's something factually wrong with the PlayStation 5, then it is what it is. It's not like I built the sucker. I didn't make it.
That's what I'm saying. And
right? Oh, they act like they built it. Like if Sony, let's say PlayStation 5 overheats, then it fucking overheats. Like I say this all the time. Yep. My PS4 is loud as hell. I even sent the video to J-Dub and he started laughing. Yep. He's like, "Oh shit." I'm like, yo, this shit is
you know what I call that though? I just say that's a way to measure them T-flops that's being used. That's all that is. That's my T-flop monitor. That's how I know I'm getting all my T-flops when I hear it whistling. This is why, right? In the great console war of 2020 now. The
great console war of 2020.
That's how I sum it up, right? Yeah. That's why the winning argument, you gotta realize if you're battling a PlayStation guy in the console war, he already has the upper hand because he has the games, right? So he's always gonna fall back on his exclusives. And so, you might go out there and talk about power and beat him up, but then once he start talking about the games, you can't match him. You can't win. And that's the argument that how a lot of my fellow Xbots out there, that's how they fall every time. Again, Microsoft invested in a lot of studios. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a ton of great games coming, but until those games drop, right, we don't know what we're going to get. We hope that we're going to continue to get good quality from Bethesda. We hope that...
Oh, we will. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
The initiative. Yeah. Listen, and I'm fairly confident in it too, right? But we also thought that Halo was going to go come out, one of the biggest games ever made. There was no doubt in our mind that game wasn't going to come out and be a success, and we ended up with Craig. So I'm just saying...
No, that game ain't out yet. That ain't fair. There's like people was judging GT with the alpha footage. When GT drops, it's gonna be fire. So that's a little early. I feel your point, but just a little bit early, J-Dub.
And that's true. I'm just saying, right? You got 12 T. Again, this is why if you're talking about the T flops, I'm gonna keep putting up the T flops. And I know it may piss people off talking about the T flops, but you threw it out there. I'm gonna keep saying it. You got the world's most powerful console. You got 12 T flops. And we've yet to see anything on there that actually lives up to that standard of what you think 12 T-flops would be. We've seen Spider-Man. We've seen, Sony's games. We've seen the Gran Turismo 7. We've seen, all other games that they have. So I'm just saying there's proof in the pudding. It's like, show me. Yes, I know Bethesda's going to put out some great games. I know the initiative is going to put out some great games. I know this studio and all this 30 studios that they have are going to put out some great games, but until you show me, it's just like pie in the sky.
Yeah,
that's sensible. Like, who argues against that? That makes perfect sense.
A lot of people feel like well, the console war now is over because they bought Bethesda, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Now that's great that they did that, but guess what? Bethesda now is going to have to go against the Naughty Dogs, the Guerrilla Games, the Sony Santa Monica's,
but they've already been going against them.
I know that, and you know that, Cole, right? Yeah. But into these guys' heads, well, now it's exclusive. So, you stupid Sony ponies are not going to get these games, even though we own Xbox and we can buy them, or PC, where the games are going to PC anyway. So, but again, you gotta think a lot. You gotta think from a whole different point of view. These guys don't want to hear that. They just want to hear that my platform is better than yours, and we're going to win this console war this time. There's scarred from 2013. For some reason, 2013 has been engraved into their head.
I pretty much agree with you on a lot of stuff, but this right here, you capping. It's not no some reason 2013. Negro is you. You are the reason that they feel this way.
It's not some. It's not something that happened. An accident. You did this.
Right. And he's still doing it like the relentless pursuit of the troll. That's what I call it. He talking about, I don't know what happened. It's a great mystery. Stop this.
Like, you know, it wasn't me. You gotta catch me on camera. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. You know, but you know what's funny?
Camera wasn't me.
What's funny? It was just funny because we just came off another podcast on Zair's channel, right? And shout out to Grid. But he actually brought back up 2013. And he's like, oh, yeah, y'all were all about the power in 720p in 2013. Well, you're going to get yours. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
This dude's still feeling the burn from 7 years ago, right? Now, I try to help him out, right? I try to help him out and be like, listen. And he wasn't trying to hear it. But I'm like, you're not going to get the satisfaction that you're looking for, right? Because there was a lot of mocking Xbox One in 2013, right? You know, and it wasn't just PlayStation fanboys, though. It was PC guys. They really hated. The
industry was upset with a lot of stuff they tried to introduce.
Yeah, man. They were killing Microsoft a lot, right? And it wasn't like 720p wasn't the only thing. It was a lot of other stuff, but in particular to 720p, even PC guys were all over Xbox. Like, who the hell makes a console that does 720p and 900p, right? And you know PC guys, right? And then the tech articles. So there was a lot of. It wasn't just fanboy. It was a lot of tech articles wondering what the hell is the point of a 900p console, right? Anyway. And what I'm trying to say, so what I was trying to say is you're not going to get that same energy this gen because the reality is a lot of tech enthusiasts, developers, they don't have issues with dynamic 4K.
Yeah.
A lot of PC gamers don't even have issues with 1440p, to be honest, right?
They should.
They don't.
The majority of them play at.
That's what they should.
Yeah.
4K is a waste, and I've been saying it for months. But
a lot of gamers feel that way. It's not. 1440p or dynamic 4K are not taboo resolutions in the same way 720p was. It's just they're just not taboo resolutions. It's just you're not gonna have a lot of gamers take shots at that.
So because they took the heat for 720p, now they want to give the heat for non-native 4K.
Yes. That's exactly
why they won't let that go.
It's not going to work.
I have not figured that out.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're trying to make dynamic 4K or 1440p the new 720p.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen because most gamers don't have a problem with 1440p. In fact, if you talk to a lot of console gamers now, if they could push a setting, right, or a performance mode where it's 1440p 60 with ray tracing, they will play at that mode.
Facts.
People will more than be happy to play at that settings on console. For $400 or $500, hell yeah, they will be happy. 1440p native, lock 60 with ray tracing and all the bells and whistles. If the consoles could do that, they would be more than happy.
Facts.
More than
100%.
Nobody has issues with that.
The proof is in the pudding when you look at games like Demon Souls, right? Yeah. Which, from what I hear, is 1440p with ray tracing and 60. Stuff like that. In 60 frames a second, right? So there's your 1440p, there's your ray tracing, there's your 60 frame. You kind of kill 3 birds with 1 stone for the most gamer, right? But then all you hear is the banner about it can't do 4K 60 and with ray, and it's like, okay, you do know your console is going to have the same limitations, right? Yeah. Well, when you're spending $399 for a console, you have to be in the right mindset to know that it's not the same as having a 3090 and an i9 inside of a PC. And I think, and I'm going to be honest, a lot of it has to go back to the media. A lot of it has to go back to these influencers, and a lot has to go back to these companies themselves marketing these consoles at 8K and 4K and all kind of stuff. And I get it. Their job is to sell you a console, so they're going to tell you all kind of shit whether you like it or not, and half of it's probably not going to be true. They are trying to capitalize on the new 4K TV market and all this.
It's all the industry thing. Movies, streaming, TVs, and they all in cahoots, right? Like in reality, they all try to support each other, right? You know, that's why Samsung and LG, they're all into consoles that push 4K.
Microsoft and Sony, and of course.
And then Sony and Microsoft talk about, you know, we got Disney Plus and they do 4K. And, you know, they all in on each other because they realize 4K is a selling point and they all benefit from hyping that, you know, that resolution. Because it sells. It sells. Right? Yeah. And stuff. But that's ultimately what they're trying to do, Optimus. They're trying to make 1440p or dynamic 4K the bad guy. Yeah. In the same manner 720p was the bad guy or the taboo resolution. And they're trying to fabricate that. But the thing is, majority of gamers don't have issues with the resolution. In fact, more gamers are hoping these consoles adopt what Nvidia is doing with DLSS. That's what they're hoping for.
Facts. Okay, this makes so much more sense, man. I done learned something tonight. This makes a whole lot more sense.
So when you see these Xbox make fun of PlayStation with resolution, they're trying to recreate 2013. That's all they're trying to do.
So that's why the whole 4K UI stuff and all of that.
That's why J-Dub is trolling them. Yeah. That's the only reason why he's trolling them. Because they're so hard up on this 4K, he's using anything to hurt them.
Yep.
Okay.
Like, we don't really care about no goddamn UI. Like, we ain't care about no UI. You know? But because their UI is 1080p and ours is 4K, J-Dub was out there. He was out there. He even said in a podcast, they don't
know exactly why every Xbox fan is irritated.
Yo, J-Dub said on the podcast that they don't even have a next-gen UI. Theirs is still running at 1080p. Oh, I was dying laughing. When he said that. Oh my God, yo.
But listen, here's the thing, right? And when it comes to this gaming stuff, ultimately, it's all up to the developers and the talent. True, it really is, because we've seen more Game of the Year winners and contenders done on 1.8 T-flops than we have 6 T-flops. And I guarantee you, I'm a betting man, right? I'm gonna bet that probably will continue into the next generation until people get into their heads. It's not about T-flops. It's not about that. Optimus, you said it perfectly, right? You put in the perfect words. It's about the synergy of all. It's the sum of all parts.
Yes,
it's the sum of
is.
It's not just the hardware. It's the software. It's not just the software and the hardware. It's the development team and the talent. It's not just that. It's the marketing. It's everything.
And how much time do they have? What resources are they up against?
Exactly. Yep. Listen, if you give Naughty Dog, 12 months to build a game from scratch, that game probably won't be a Game of the Year winner, right? You only gave them such a short time and you expect them to do stuff. Naughty Dog has had 7 years, sometimes even longer.
They make it worth it though, boy.
They make it worth it. But again, I think that I'm a big listen, and I get it, this might be controversial, but I am a fan of crunching when need, right? But I'm coming from a gamer standpoint of a consumer. I'm spending my money when a developer telling me, hey, we're crunch time, guys. We're trying to get this game going. We're working long hours. And those games, from what I see from a consumer standpoint, the games where they crunch, like the rock stars did with Red Dead, like the guys like Naughty Dog did with The Last of Us 2, and so on and so on. Even Cyberpunk is doing it now, right? Those developers tend to put out a great fucking product. We're talking about a Game of the Year winner contender in most cases, right? And so, as a consumer, again, I'm not a developer, and I get it. People gotta, think about their families and everything, and I'm very sensitive to that. But at the end of the day, I'm a gamer, right? That's problems I don't really care about. I just care about playing a game, and that's my focus, is playing a game. And now that's somebody else's focus to deal with other stuff, right? That's Microsoft's and their development team, and Sony's and their development team issues. But I think where it comes to the consumer, when I see people say, oh, I'm boycotting this company because they're crunching and this and that, and it's like, I just want a great goddamn game. That's what I want. And if it takes somebody to work an extra 2-3 hours a day, like I have to do at my job when it's crunch time, but they pay me for it. They pay you for it. I don't care. And then I think gamers and some gamers, they just get caught up in the optics of stuff and just get caught up in the wrong stuff. Focus on the game and let everything else go.
No argument for me. I mean, that crunch one is a complicated subject, Jay, because, like, I mean, no matter what, there's going to be crunch. It's inescapable. And it's just how they handle the crunch. There's good crunch and there's bad crunch. And I get you saying you don't care what kind it is, as long as they get you your game. Yeah, and that's fair because, you know, you a customer, you want them to earn your dollars, and that's fine. And you have a right to complain. It's just that a lot of people, once they get a peek behind the curtain and they realize, you know, how things are, then, you know, they have something to say. That's fine. But right, you speak with your wallets. And if the game is not up to par, they won't be rewarded with sales. If the game is up to par, they will be rewarded with sales. I'm not against crunch. I am against abusive crunch. But a lot of times we won't even know if that happened. And that's why I left game programming, because I was done dealing with the crunch. It was great while I was young. And, man, I wish I would. I'm good. Well, I got too much other stuff to do.
Optimus, I think people, when they think of crunch, they think of slave wages and slave labor on stuff like that. And that's not 100% the case every time. There's a lot of people making a lot of money in game development and stuff, you know, 6 figures plus. And so people, I mean, some people are paid handsomely for their different projects and their different stuff. And sometimes, I mean, you got deadlines. At every job, you have deadlines, right? And so,
but where's the outrage for people who make games by themselves?
That's
the ultimate crunch.
That one guy that
you have to put up your house up for mortgage.
He's not complaining. Right?
Yep.
I'm not trying to excuse it, but it is what it is, man. I think whatever you do, a good product is going to take a lot of hard work, you know. Or whatever you're trying to make, you know.
Stuff to boycott. They just look for stuff, but that stuff is. I've never in all my gaming years have I ever thought about Nintendo or Sony or Sega or anything. I've never once cared.
I wonder if Jeffrey went on a lunch break. I never thought of that shit ever.
I just want the next Mario. I just wanted the next 2K or the next, you know, Sonic game.
Well, I mean, hold on, y'all. So I get what you're saying, and again, I agree, but it's still like some stuff you just don't know about. And once you find out, you know, some people it's going to affect you. Like, man, I never knew this was going on behind the scenes. Like, I was dating this woman. She was a nurse, and I didn't really realize, like, all the stuff they had to go through. Now, like, if I'm sick, I still want people to take care of me, but I'm just a little more empathetic now. When I take into account this stuff that I learned, it don't mean that I'm trying to change the world with it, but finding out some stuff will change you, man.
I mean, with that, like I agree with Optimus. As long as it's not abusive or a terrible setting, you got fair wages, and you know, but there's a lot of jobs where you have to work more than 40 hours a week. You got to work that overtime.
Listen, right now,
Lord knows I put in more than 40 hours in a lot of shit in the shit I did. You know.
Hey, this is the exposure here, Puerto Rock. Right now, we have COVID-19. We have nurses and doctors in the healthcare industry that are working damn near 24 hours a day nonstop because lives depend on it. And there is no bleeding heart for these people.
It should be.
Exactly. It should be across the board. But that's what I'm saying. As gamers, you're caring more about. And I don't, you know, and I don't want to get caught up in this profession is more important than that one, but
the health industry is more important than gaming. Man, please.
It is, but you know, there's
man,
some guy out there that's going to say, well, I'm a developer and mine matter too, you know, and I don't want to get into that, but the whole crux of it is I don't see a lot of gamers showing that empathy to the nurses and the doctors that are out there trying to save lives as much as they are
teachers in this whole pandemic. And
so that's why I don't really. You can call me not sympathetic or whatever. I just really don't think about it, to be honest. I really don't. I'm just ready to spend my $60, $70, and that's my support, right? Bro, that's how I support the developer by buying games, by buying their product. That's showing
that's the real shit. Yeah, that's the real thing. Just buy the games, you know. Shout out to True Virgil. All right, this is kind of weird. Super chat from True Virgil. He says, "I'm by. I was at the club and I saw J-Dub in some mini skirt. That's the only reason why I'm supporting. Oh shit.
Hey, brother, if you see me in a I saw in a song. If you see me in the ministry, you got to come over with $5.
You got to go more than $5.
Chop a bill.
You know what I'm saying? I Hard 8, I knew he had a secret mini fan, so it looked like J-Dub got him on OnlyFans too.
Oh shit, man! I might want to see J-Dub in some red bottoms and shit. Oh shit! Oh, we good. We good. He said we good. True Virgil.
If that super chat looking right, you just might. God damn.
Oh, God damn. Hey, praise the Lord. Praise God. Praise God. This is a Christian podcast. Please keep it simple. My man True Virgil, PlayStation. Yup, that's it. That's the tweet. Definitely. Shout out to True Virgil. He goes, laughing on my bro is a surgeon and I'm a postmaster. Crunch is a joke. We don't sleep. We just bought our second house. That's it, man. Gotta grind. That's it. Gotta grind, man. That's it, man. But but I think that's it. But
that's what it's about.
Ultimately, it's like this. I think we all talk about this, right? And I think this is the true lesson in all seriousness, right? At the end of the day, the games will do the talking, that's it. And that's it. And in whatever console platform you choose, I hope that you guys are really choosing it based on what you really want and not all for Twitter bullshit. Because if you listen to some of these dudes on what they're advertising, on what some of these consoles are doing, you're not going to get what they're trying to sell to you because they don't make the games. They don't even know how to make a game. They're advertising shit that most likely is not going to pan out. You got to be realistic. Listen to the developers. Like that dude Cherno, right? He has a channel, the Cherno, right over. He has 2 channels actually, but the one that's popular because he has 2 channels. One channel he's actually teaching C++, actual software shit. That's the channel nobody wants to listen to because, like I tell Optimus, ain't nobody trying to get knowledge. we really not trying to learn it. You think we trying to go to school? Hell nah. Yo, but he actually, so he has a channel that's actually strictly development tools and all that, right? And basic beginner C++ and all this stuff. Nobody cares about that one. The other channel that's really popular is the one where somebody sends him a link and says, hey, can you look and give your opinion on what you see here? And that's all he does. He's not he's not getting money. He's not getting cyberpunk chairs. He's not endorsing anything. He just looks at the footage, at the best footage that's shown, and he looks at the thing, he pauses it, and then he gives his impression based on what he's seeing, based on his development skills, on what he knows about game development. And he does give credit. He gives multiple reasons. He might be like, maybe they didn't have this, maybe the tools. He does give logical reasoning, and like if he sees something wrong, and like for example, he sees money textures. He's like, oh my god, this is like, you know, Optimus, I would love to see a video of you watching this guy seeing a video.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're critiquing his video of him critiquing a video game and see if you agree what he's saying based on what you know game development. Because like he'll go,
he's the engine. He's a game engine developer. So he built the engine for these games.
So he pauses it and he's like, "Yo, why is this money textures? Like I don't get it. Like this is actually something you will see on 360." But he gives alternate possible reason. Like maybe they didn't have this. Did they think of this? Maybe this is early build. I'm not sure, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
His latest one is about Dirt 5.
Dirt 5. Like you gotta see, it's called the Cherno.
Yeah.
I would love to see you do a video of watching him and then see if you agree and be like, nah, this might be a fanboy statement because he's not talking about this. Maybe. Yeah. I would love to see that from you. I would like to see a critique from you. So check it out. It's called the Cherno. And you might like it. You might be like, yo, this dude's the real deal. He's talking about real shit. And this is the shit people... Anyway, I say that to say this, right? Listen to real developers. They're the ones that's telling you, because they're the ones that has to go through the struggle of making the games at the end of the day. Right? You don't know what they're going through, right? Microsoft is telling the non-gamer, right, what helps them sell the console.
Yeah.
And the developers, they're not in this fight. They're not trying to sell you the console. They're just trying to make the games and sell the games, right? But what Microsoft might be telling gamers in podcasts or on Twitter may not be the reality the actual developer has in hand for them to make the games. And they're not going to go talk shit about Microsoft because that's bad business. They're just going to do the best they can with what they have, with the tools and the time and the money that's allowed to them. And that's all they can do. I'm pretty sure every developer wants $1 billion and all the time in the world to make the very best game they can. I'm pretty sure every developer wants that, but that's not reality.
Well, it has to be. Listen, and it has to be a credible developer, right? Yeah. Because we've seen some non-credible developers, like for example, that Voltage Games guy with the building the Dolphin game. He's an Xbox fanboy, right? Yeah. And we've seen, right? And so people will post statements that he said how Xbox is so strong in this, and you look at his game. First thing I do, if you're a developer, I go and look and see what your history is. Show me what games you made.
The game you're talking about.
If you made a goddamn Peppermint game, right?
Hey, do you know who we're talking about? Hey, let me ask. Optimus. Do you know who we're talking about when we say Voltage game?
Yep, I seen him.
You seen that Dolphin game they're talking about?
Yeah, that Eco, the Dolphin clone.
Yeah. Well, just in case, because I got a video. Just in case you didn't know.
He and that talking about ray tracing and all these fancy. And I'm like, until you have a, now if you used to work on God of War, you worked on Halo or something like that. Yes, I mean, your credibility is there. I ain't gonna question you. Whatever.
Red Dead, Rockstar devs.
Like, exactly.
When these guys talk,
and listen, a bunch of fanboy stuff that is not adding up, and with my common sense, my bullshit meter will kick in high gear, and I'm like, okay, this guy here is talking a bunch of nonsense. Because you don't have to be a developer to have common sense, right? Some guy comes in here talking about some crazy stuff, then it's like, he don't sound like. Let me go and ask somebody that's credible, and that's why you go and ask.
Absolutely.
I want to ask you a question. I'm glad you're here because this just popped in my head. So I'm assuming.
Let me say this real quick based on what Jay just said, bro. Please.
Okay, of course.
So, like I've said plenty times on my Twitter account, you can find it. Everybody can be wrong, even developers, even me, especially me.
Yes.
I don't mind people engaging with me if I say something that they think is off and they want clarification. Like, I don't mind that at all. Like, challenge my ideas, challenge my thoughts. Sure. What I don't like is when these motherfuckers get to arguing with me and trying to like question my motives and shit. But if we having a conversation and you think I'm off key, man, say that. Absolutely. Anybody got common sense, like you said, Jay, and anybody can be wrong or make a mistake. So yeah, nobody word is bond just because they said it. Everybody is subject to critique, and I welcome that. Just don't get to arguing and shit.
So let me ask you a question, and this is well, let me go super. Ryan Landis, thank you for the super chat. He said, I like that J-Dub is pretending he has a boss and has to crunch when we all know he's in Vegas penthouse running his empire like Howard Hughes. You got J-Dub out here, he's a Republican. I'm gonna let y'all know. He lying. He ain't for the people.
Hey, I replied. I told him, I said, hey man, look, I'm married. I said, I'm married. My wife is my boss. Everyone has a boss.
Everybody crunching. Every husband crunching. Let me ask you this, Optimus. Okay, I'm assuming, did you see the gameplay of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and all the transition? You seen that, right? And are you familiar with the game Portal? Remember that game Portal from Valve? Now, would you say what Portal did is the same as Ratchet and Clank, or are there two totally different things that people have no idea what they're talking about? The reason why I bring this up, a particular developer took a screenshot of Ratchet and Clank of the Portal transition, and he said some stuff like, this is done in Portal, so much for the magic of SSD. And I'm thinking, I played Portal, right? And Portal was just really, you're moving around in the same room. It wasn't actual world to world transition. So I want to ask you, can you please explain if there is a difference? If it's the same, then please educate us. But if it's two totally different worlds, like two totally different things, can you please break it down as best you can? What exactly we're missing? Or what we truly need to understand is the difference between what Insomniac did with Ratchet and Clank and what Valve did with Portal.
So, I mean, there is nothing to understand. You have it exactly right. Those are not even close to the same things. That's like saying, I don't like all black people look alike or something because they similar or something foolish like this.
Yeah. Wait a minute, who's the person who said that?
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna provide the screenshot because why? Why not? Right? Let me get it. You know I got these receipts.
Man, you do keep receipts, boy.
That's
let me sit back and see this dumb shit.
Yeah,
real quick,
I'm gonna put in the 60 frame no lag thing. Let me post it up, right? But please talk. No, yeah, on Twitter. I'm gonna put in the DMs.
All right, so yeah, those are two different things. So right, one, like you said, is just teleporting around in the same room or the same area, and so it is the exact same textures, the exact same character models, and mainly he by himself the majority of the time, but the exact same models, the exact same textures, and the exact same geometry, all in a confined space, and you just moving around in that space. So that's like me right now. Let's say I could teleport, but I can only teleport 3 feet. So I'm just teleporting all around in my room, which is great, but it's, it's still in my room. And that's the difference in me being able to teleport down to Acapulco somewhere where everything is completely different when I get there than where I am when I started. And what Ratchet and Clank is doing is they are loading completely new levels, all new models, all new level design, mountains, hills, buildings, like wherever you end up going, like all that stuff is there. All the geometry is different. All the textures are different. The character models are different. All the particle effects, different AI with different creatures when you get where you're going. They are literally taking in seconds and loading you from one game basically to another game. It's the same game, but like the variance in where you're going is so radically different. It's like switching games. And to compare that to Portal, where you just moving around in the same area where everything is exactly the same, that's foolishness. And I would definitely question this person's motive, because as a developer, they should know better.
Wait, him, Gavin?
Okay, so there you go. It's in the
this
DM.
Guy?
Yeah. Oh, let me send it to. Let me send it to Optimus.
I wonder if he looks at his own games he creates with this critique too.
Man, me and him went. I mean, we had a civil discussion, and he didn't really tap out. He was just like, I agree. It's all there, like on Twitter to see if you feel like digging it up. But he was trying to say how these things won't affect game design, and I'm like how not? And we went into neural nets, AI, and he was just basically like, he saw my point that I was making, and the critique that I have with people who always talk about they can do this and they can do that and they do it just like this and do it just like that. First, you haven't done it, so like be silent. Yeah. And two, they keep looking at how things are done now, and the people that are complaining about this stuff is because they want to push things forward to how they want to do things for the next generation. And somebody's always tying a ball and chain around their ankle, trying to lock them into how shit is done now. And they not understanding. They trying to break away. They trying to do new stuff with new ideas. They trying to get a Tesla and somebody's still trying to keep them with a bicycle.
Exactly.
Like we trying to go way beyond what you thinking and what you talking about.
Yeah.
And so me and him had that conversation. He saw where I was going. It was a civil conversation, and we let it go, agreeing on like resolution, because we both agreed that 4K was a waste. And so, we moved on. He was like, well, let's hope it turns out that way. We're going to wait and see when the next generation comes how big the proliferation of neural nets are, which I personally think is going to be massive.
Yeah.
Okay, so I sent it. You should also have a copy. Optimus in the DM. And yeah.
Yeah, I was going to go in on him a few days ago.
And that's it, yeah.
But I was like, you know what? He is he a fanboy, right?
He swears he's not.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But when you see shit like that, like what can you actually say,
bro? Anytime you are a developer, quote unquote, and you're over analyzing shit like that about and it's not just this situation. I've seen him plenty of times on Twitter go back and forth about the most minute dumb shit no one thinks about, right?
Yeah.
Dumb development bullshit, right?
Yeah.
That he's probably Googling. As he's talking, he's probably, huh?
Well, what you mean dumb? There ain't nothing about development dumb, but go ahead.
Dumb development shit. He's like, hold on.
Like me.
I'm trolling.
Yeah. We know we don't give a fuck about what y'all go through. We just want to see what y'all can finish.
Yeah,
that's what we give a fuck about.
That's the truth. Yeah. Put that shit in my hand. You know what I'm saying? If that shit in my hand, I ain't trying to hear it. Oh shit!
But yeah, I've seen them go back and forth with people about really dumb, minute, fucking situations and comments. I'm like, yeah, you got to be a bot, like, and it's kind of scary that those type of extremists are in game development to begin with, because you would think, they would kind of like be a little bit objective, right? Because they got to sell games to everybody.
Yeah. So here's the thing, all day. So I'm not really want to spread rumors, but they showed me proof, and I didn't really want to approach him with it because it was over with. It ain't none of my concern. Actually, I'm second guessing saying it now. I'm probably not gonna say it, but actually I'm not gonna say it. But he sort of has a reputation for being pro Xbox and making up lies and stuff. And so maybe let's talk after. I'll tell y'all after. Okay. I really don't want to get into it right now.
We can do that. Don't even trip.
Okay, but yeah.
I do got something, Rock, that I think I want to share with y'all, and I think that let me see.
Okay, of course.
This is definitely gonna cause some stuff, but let me find it because I don't want to misquote my guy. So one of my developer buddies, I'm gonna leave out
world exclusive.
I'm gonna leave out the company names because that would give it away, and he told me this in private.
All right.
And I'm like, hey, bro, I'm gonna share this, but I'm gonna like leave your name out. But he ain't responded back yet, so I'm gonna do it anyway.
But of course, you got to protect your sources.
Exactly, because like he ain't never done me no wrong. That's so I'm like I said, I'm gonna leave it out. So he says, and he don't like all the flack arguing with developers on Twitter, like when you just trying to educate and then people get to like spitting all this venom at you and shit. He ain't really with it. But here he goes. I'm gonna read verbatim. I'm gonna say blah blah where I'm like retracting stuff, redacting stuff. All right. So he says, I can tell you now for free, most of my ex-colleagues at blah blah and blah blah think the PS5 is the better system. The two next-gen projects that I've been consulting on both currently run better on PS5. Now, that might be because optimization is easier on the PS5 because the SDK gets you much lower to the hardware. Or Sony was smart to focus on data throughput and maximizing IPC. He goes on to say, and then I said some stuff. I'm skipping my response and I'm going back to his next response to me. He says, my gut instinct tells me if developers stick to the current paradigms, the Series X will have a slight advantage over PS5 for frames, but not massively. The Windows OS on the Series X takes up more CPU cores on the SSX than the PS5. So the higher clocks there are moot. I'm keeping my mouth shut publicly, though, because if developers actually work towards the PS5's advantages and how Sony thinks game development should go, the SSX could find itself not keeping up. End quote. And this is from a bona fide developer that's working on 2 projects right now and still got ties to the industry. And like I said, I don't know nobody with a PS5 dev kit, so I can't really speak to that. But he does, and there are 3 current AAA organizations that I left out. And like if I get his permission, then I'll do a follow-up tweet telling you the names of these places. But like right now, he don't want to be in the public with it because of all this console war shit, and people already be arguing and shit. And he got like 2 or 3 little pseudonyms, and he took the same route as me, Rock. He tried to help out. They attacked him. So like,
you know how it goes. You know how it goes.
Shit, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
And this is facts. This is no cap, no nothing. This is 100% facts.
Like ultimately, I would like to see Sony's vision, but it seems like they're looking at forward. Like they didn't look at this console as just create a console for better resolution, better frame rates, and you know better. It seems like they try to build this console to like as if they sat down with their own developers and be like, hey, why you want PS5 to be? And their own developers like, you know what? We're pretty much tired of going through this shit. Like we're pretty much tired of having to deal with this, and this. Can you finally just make something that deals with this? Like, don't worry about native 4K because that's a waste. Believe me, we'll find ways to get solid frame rates and good looking games, but we need help with this. Can you eliminate this stuff? And would you say, Optimus, that's very important for developers now? Like what we're gonna do next? 8K, 16K? Like, how many Ks are we gonna keep tackling before? But when you think about it, how many Ks are you gonna keep tackling before you address the real issues that game developers go through? Right?
There are certain core fundamental issues, Rock. I would agree with you, and we want to improve the things that are hard to do now. And I've said this before on like a different podcast, like months ago, like back in May, April, that it seems to me that Xbox doubled down on being really good at how we do things today, and Sony doubled down on doing things a new way that we haven't done before yet. And that's what has me excited about their platform. And talking to my developer buddies is like, man, maybe my prediction was on. We'll see. Time will tell. But yeah, it's definitely a sense that Sony is thinking more about how to improve what we do now, and Microsoft is more how to do more of what we do now.
That's going to be an interesting landscape when these consoles come out, and I would say it's gonna take like a good 2-3 years before we actually see the vision of what Sony's trying to do and what Microsoft's trying to do, right? Because right now we're in that transition, right? And because of business, you got to take care of the install base that's currently around. Like, you can't ignore 100 million PlayStation fans and the 50 million Xbox guys that are out there. It's just that's where the money's gonna come from, right? Then over time, when PS5 and Xbox Series grow on its own and xCloud and all this stuff, and you actually give developers time to focus on this one, set of schools or whatever.
And the tools have to mature, all that good stuff.
Would you say there's probably tools that still haven't been fully fleshed out?
100%.
Like they still haven't.
I guarantee you that's true.
Like there's still tools that they can't fully utilize or even use at all because it's just not ready.
And that's why the ray tracing on the Series X is, coming soon. It's not because the hardware can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, people make those jokes and stuff, but that has nothing to do with it. It's not the hardware, it's that the tooling is still in development.
Yeah, my man J-Dub Kyle. Yeah, but that's his big thing. Man, Xbox can't do ray tracing. Where the ray tracing? Oh, man.
This man said he don't know what got the Xbox so upset. He knows him. Where he go?
Oh, he left. He did his duty.
Yeah, he's out.
Oh shit, man. Yo, so hey, all day I haven't talked to you in a minute.
What's up,
man? What's up? So what you got going on? What you doing, man? Like you like out there?
Nah, yeah, man. I'm just been chilling. Just got some music equipment. About to start producing some music.
You about to make them Swiss beats?
Yeah, boy.
What you do? Hip hop, R&B, Quiet Storm. What you do?
I need some shit on my channel.
Hey, I got you.
I need some Latino heat. I need a little bit of percussion, piano. A little bit of conga beat. You know what I'm saying?
You need a little bit of sazon.
And I need some of that sazon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got you. I'll let you know
when the channel
up. Yeah, for sure, man. I got you.
Can you dance, bro?
Yeah, I can dance. Yeah.
Like that
salsa, merengue, bachata.
Yeah.
Man, that's like trauma we go through when we're kids. Our parents be like, "Hey, go dance in front of everybody." Like, shit, man.
Hey, don't you hate? Like you ain't never in the mood for it either.
I used to hate that shit, man.
I was like, why can't they let it happen naturally? You know what I'm saying?
Why can't you get a stripper or some shit? Why I gotta do this shit?
All right, what you mean, damn? Like,
oh shit, man. Like, and if you don't dance, they'll whoop your ass in front of everybody. So that's your choice. Pick and choose what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dancing, man.
You're gonna be dancing like a
What up,
motherfucker.
Luca?
Oh shit. Oh, Luca, sister from another mister. What up, girl? Check out her podcast on Saturdays. Funkcast.
Barbecue. The fuck.
Oh shit. Dancing in front of the whole barbecue.
Dancing in front of the whole fucking barbecue, man. Like,
oh shit. In front of cousins you never seen before and shit. Like, who the hell is this?
Man, they ain't never gonna live it.
No, man. But anyway. Oh shit. But anyway, we're gonna cut this shit right here. We're gonna cut this. We're gonna cut the podcast. I think unless anybody, unless you want to say something.
Be batching here.
Oh,
all day was telling us what he was up to.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Oh, Dave, with the music. Yeah. What's up with the music?
The music thing. Yeah. It's cooking right now. I'm just putting all the my thoughts together right now. But I'll let you guys know in the future when everything's about to drop.
Oh hell yeah! You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Yeah.
That's what's up. I need that intro.
I got you.
I need that Mark Anthony type shit on my channel. You know what I'm saying?
You
know what I'm saying? Aguanile. You know I need that. You know what I'm saying? That conga shit.
I'm about to slow down some "Waiting for It Tonight" by J-Lo and call it a day.
Oh shit! Don't give me no J-Lo shit, man. Oh man.
I'm a Santana type person, Rock.
What happened?
I said I figured you'd be more of a Santana type person. That might be because your time.
I could deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I could deal with that too. You know what I'm saying? Well, fuck it. Give me some of that reggaeton gangster shit. Fuck it. Bad Bunny.
There we go.
That's it. Give me some of that Bad Bunny type shit.
Facts. Nah, but man, y'all play Ghost of Tsushima or not? Okay.
I'm still playing that. I'm on Act 3.
Oh, you ain't even finished it yet. Okay.
Ooh, that game is fire. I'm doing everything. Man.
It is. Yeah, I haven't played Legends yet, but I'm waiting for the PS5 for that. But I might not be able to hold out. Everybody keep talking.
You know, everybody talk about it, but when I seen it on a little store, man, it's a paid upgrade.
Yeah, man. The what?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
What do you mean it's a paid upgrade? Like you have to pay for the upgrade for Ghost of Tsushima?
$10.
Get the fuck out of here.
What are you talking about for PS5? Or are you talking about the?
It's not a free upgrade.
Nah, I posted it. I posted. I was looking for the motherfucking download, and I was too early. They came out the next day around 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
But people saying it's free.
Yeah, the Legends is
PlayStation
free.
About to get this place. No, Legends is free. Yes, Legends is free.
No, Legends is free. But
the PS5 upgrade?
Yeah. Watch, I'll send it to you. Hold on.
In order to get the enhancements on PS5, you gotta pay $10.
Yeah.
I'm a double check, boy. Sony about to get this heat. They're about to catch these hands.
$10.
I posted
it. Happily pay that $10.
I'm a kid, but they're gonna catch. I'm a simp and pay the $10, but not without catching these hands. You know, like you know, like you about to lose this fight, but you're like, fuck it, I'm still fighting because I ain't no chump. You know,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I had a couple of them.
You know what I'm saying?
Gonna fight for that $10.
I'm like, I'm gonna still fight. I may lose this fight, but everybody gonna know I'm gonna throw down. I ain't going down like no chump.
You will hold them accountable, Rock, and that's the thing. Like again, I ain't cheerleading enough. Like I have seen you hold them accountable, and you you not the regular fanboy. Oh. You will troll, but when it's time to get serious, you hold everybody
when that shit,
accountable.
when the sequel got announced for PS4, I was like, nah, we not doing this. You did not make Horizon sequel on PS4. What are we doing here? Like, what?
Hey, God of War might also be
I know. It might be cross-gen. I'm going to be like, man.
You know what? I mean, look. Paying $10 for the upgrade, I get it. Whatever, right? It's bad. I don't care. At the same time, everybody going to do it, right? But at the same time, it's only when this is just the start.
I'm going to talk my shit.
Because
it's good for business.
Hey, chat, Porter Rock, Optimus, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were trying to do this last gen.
Yes, they did. Remember the $10, I think it was Operation $10? EA started that shit. Remember, if you bought you get a code. If you remember this, even PlayStation started doing it. When you bought a game, it came with a code for you to do the multiplayer, right? Now, obviously, if you bought the game, you just enter the code and you got the multiplayer. But the reason why they did this was if you bought the game used, you wouldn't get access to the multiplayer unless you paid $10.
$10, right?
Hey, that's some shit, man. Huh. Yo,
I do not remember.
You don't remember that? You don't remember that? Yeah, nope. It was called Operation $10. People started doing that. EA did it. Ubisoft did it. Where if you bought a game used and you try to play the multiplayer, it will say insert code that came with the game. But you'd be like, I don't have a code.
You had it.
You had to pay a separate fee.
Game had it. Every game had it. Mostly all the big publishers did it. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. True Virgil. He said, "Whoa, $10 too much. Take my 10. F Sony." Oh shit, he gave me the $10 instead. He said, "Fuck $10." You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, goddamn, Sony, like, come on, man. You know,
$10.
I know it's not a lot, but if other people are doing, free upgrades, like, man, like, don't let third parties show you up on your own platform.
But you know what? I might. Y'all can hear it here first. I might give Ghosts a pass just because how much content they gave us already.
That's true.
That's a long fucking game.
Yes, and they did
That's
it
a long game. Free DLC, an expansive big DLC.
The side quest was dope. All the side quests was fire.
So
Every side quest was fire.
They gave us a lot, and then we asked for $10.
Yeah, fuck that.
You take the $10.
I'm gonna do fake outrage because that's good for business. It's good for business.
Now, hey, if this
that's like ZZ hopes Series X is not 4K 60. He hopes that shit's 4K 30. He says it's good for business. Why? He's gonna talk shit.
No,
because talking shit is good for business. Talking trash is good for business.
Okay, all right. I wonder if Mortal Kombat getting upgraded. It is, but I don't know if you got paid for it or not.
Oh shit, man! Yeah, they're doing a lot of shit for Mortal Kombat. I'm like, holy shit! How much shit are they adding to this game?
Yeah, they announced an update for a PS5 and Xbox Series X.
And they added story mode, another like an expansion, like to the story, like and shit. Yeah. Like, holy shit, they're serious with this. But they added Rambo.
I was like, come on, you could have, man. No, I don't want to rant on that, man. That's gonna make me mad, bro. Like with the guest character,
like it's Rambo. Rambo.
Out of all people, I guess they're running out of Warner Brothers people to pick, I guess, or whoever. But
Rambo. I was like, wait a minute,
Rambo.
Is Rambo?
Yeah, man.
He doesn't even fit.
Hardy was telling me about that because I didn't understand, like, what's wrong with Rambo, and I guess the problem people having is because there are other Mortal Kombat characters that are missing.
I'm telling you, off top.
Like, what's his fighting style in Mortal Kombat?
That's
like
he just screams.
He doesn't do kung fu. The man just said, Murdoch, I just wanted a sandwich. That's it. He's like, Murdoch, I just wanted a sandwich. You know, like in First Blood and shit. Like, I don't know, that tripped me out and stuff.
Who's he gonna play like? Because I mean, if you ask me, like,
it's Rambo First Blood.
Like Jason.
It's Rambo First Blood. I don't know who's gonna fight.
I mean, look,
he's gonna fight like Kung Lao. I don't know.
All right, Reptile.
It's just gonna go
Smoke, Ermac, Sector. Like, put some normal motherfuckers in there. Striker, even. Like, come on, man. Like. But we talking about Rambo. You don't need a guest character in every DLC pack, but I guess that's the driver of the DLC, right?
Yeah,
Rambo. But technically, everybody would want Melina and Rain instead of Rambo. If you ask them,
if anything, we should get a Rambo game, a proper Rambo game. That would be.
It was terrible. Remember?
Oh yeah, but
it was might be spring.
It was the Rambo game was like a time, like, what is it, like time cop type?
Yeah, it was like one of those on
like
rails,
arcade, on rail shit. Like, they should do a proper Rambo game, like proper third person, like open world, like some shit up.
You know who they need to bring back Mortal Kombat? Takeda. he was the most fireest original character they ever had.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Takeda was fire.
They done livened up. You start talking about Mortal Kombat.
My man. My man got the straw hat from Raiden and shit. He got the Raiden costume. He ready for Halloween.
Nah, fighting games is my lane, man. I fuck with it heavy. So
that's what's up.
They looking like Raiden and shit out there in the street.
I'm over here fucking podcasting with a stick.
Afro Samurai. He up in there. fucking Oh shit! You know what I'm saying? Oh man! But anyway, man, we're gonna cut the podcast here and shit like that. Oh, True Virgil, he says, "I'm a beast at any fighting game aside from Titanfall Princess. No one can beat me." Yeah, Titanfall Princess be going ham in the fighting scene.
Yeah, she go in.
Yo, she go win. Shout out to Titanfall. She goes in.
Yeah.
Yo, for real. But anyway, yeah. Hey, I want to say thank everybody for rocking out. OptimusCode, truly appreciate you once again. You are welcome here anytime. Now you got the privilege. You got privilege access.
I appreciate it, brother.
You ain't gotta wait. You ain't gotta wait in Gem Pop no more. You could just
no more spreads.
That's
man.
it. No more, man.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna treat you. You ain't gonna treat you like Spike Lee. We gotta come in the front. You could come in the back. You could come in and enter.
Yeah, I'll be tripping. I appreciate it, Claire. I appreciate it.
Take it. Hey, I want to say, everybody, shout out to the chat. Thank you so much for rocking out. I hope you enjoy what we had today. Shout out to J-Dub and stuff. We'll catch you guys next week with more fuckery. But hey, while before then, tune into Twitter where we like the Saturday Night Live of this shit. Just like OptimusCode perfectly explained it. I like that analogy. I'm like, he right. You know, I'm like the Dave Chappelle of this shit.